thrown with bad intentions, and it's just navigating that. I'm here for all of us. I've said it a million times. I absolutely mean that. See, I'm 37 years old. We'll say it. I'm 37 years old. Maybe got another 5 years in me in my head. Really, I don't want to be doing past 40. Just don't. My body hurts sometimes. I train my fucking ass off, and I got a second chance to be back in it, and I just won't make the grave mistake I made last time, thinking I won early. When I had the gas to get up and work, and I could have probably got up, I chose to stay down there. As you saw with dancing, I really thought I would fight. Shame on me, so we won't let that happen again.
You talk a lot about the benefit of training with the GOAT, John Jones.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing you think you're taking out of it? Is it, having him actually being able to go with them? Is it something mental? Is it something tactical? What would you say the biggest thing you're taking out of your time with him?
Obviously going with him is if you don't say that, you're stupid. Obviously going with him is a very huge benefit. But really, I've been able to be pretty close to his camp. When I say pretty as close as I can be without being in everything. There's some things that I just don't do with him because he has his process. But as close as I am, just watching the man's work ethic. The days he don't want to be there, he brings his ass in the gym. The days we don't want to lift, he's the fucking lifting heavyweight. And that's giving me confidence. I'll put it like this. We were lifting once, right? And I'm not even doing numbers like him. That's not my job to tell you the numbers. The numbers are astronomical. I will tell you this though. I watched this man bench 315 pounds, 5 times doing sets of 5. 5 times. And the rate that he has longer arms than me, the rate that this bar was moving was so fucking impressive that I was like, man, so I haven't lifted my whole career, and my excuse was I got long arms. That was my excuse for a long time. But to watch him do that, it was like, fuck. Yeah, man, you ain't got no excuse no more. What's your excuse now, Maurice? You just saw it real time. You just really saw him bench that, get up, And then with me, they take 2 plates off. It was taking 2 plates off. So I could do, no, they took more than 2 plates off. They took 4 plates off. And then they put a couple more plates on, but it was nowhere close. So just to watch his work ethic. And, I used to watch him at Anderson. First Anderson and then John, who I've watched since I was an amateur. So to see him go from being a light heavyweight to seeing how fucking big and physical and he is as a heavyweight, and just to see his IQ, right? Or when he starts, and he has somebody there, like when somebody comes from out of town, and very rarely do you get to see them going back and forth, and you see the wheels turning, the gears turning. That's the shit that not a lot of people get to see, and I get to witness that in real time. So, that stuff gives me confidence.
That's awesome. Last thing for me, we know what's at stake here, $1 million, but the championship as well. I know the money will help you support your family, but what means more, that big check or being a champion at this point in your career?
We're on year 14 right now, I believe. It started in 2010. Not before 2010. I took my first fight in 2010, I want to say. So year 13, going to 14. I don't fucking know. It's over 10 years, okay? And for a long time, when I was in the UFC, I was happy to be there. I was an ultimate fighter. As you guys saw, it was fun for me. I was the Ultimate Fighter, season 28. It was the Crochet Boston show. Even though I didn't win. But now more than ever, the money will be there. Realistically, the money's going to be there. But being a world champion is really where I want to be. I want to carry one over my shoulder, maybe 2. Who knows? I don't know. You got to worry about getting there first, right? So instead of thinking about all that, the glitz and glamour and what's gonna, I got a 6'8" giant to get through, and then you got Heiderman, or you got Goldshoff to get through, and that's just facts.
Hey Maurice, we talk about John Jones, but describe the experience and some of the big takeaways training with BJJ superstar Gordon Ryan.
Again, I told another media outlet this, we got a little bit of time with Gordon, and I'm very grateful for, he came and taught 2 nights to the rest of the team, and just watching him articulate jiu-jitsu and being in there, and I didn't have many questions after he showed us because it was so clear and precise. It was very, very, very useful things that I can use Friday night. And I think we will use some of it Friday night because I think we're learning everywhere. It was just amazing to be able to. We're talking about 2 different goats. We're talking about the no-gi goat, and we're talking about the MMA goat. There's nobody better. He's got to prove on November 11th after he buried Stipe. He's undoubtedly the goat, I guess, to you guys. He's been undoubtedly the goat to me. And the real MMA fans and media should already know that he is the goat. There's no question.
Certainly star-studded sparring partners. Now, lastly for me, I've looked up the Etsy shop, line brand yarn, crochetboss.com. How the fuck can someone get some authentic Crochet Boss pieces?
Well, I've been slacking on my pimping, right? When I'm training, my hands hurt quite a bit. But now, my Etsy store is down. I'm gonna start posting on Millions Co. If you go to Millions Co, we got some merch up. Some of my design was my design. You want to see Crochet Boss shirt? I designed that shit. And I'll keep designing those. But I will have some hats up on there. I really don't do a whole lot of requests. I just make what I make and I post them. And if you guys want something, just DM me. Send me a DM on Instagram. I use Instagram more than I use any other platform.
Best luck.
Thank you.
Maurice, I'm just curious. You said that after a win, you're calling out Francis, that no other fight makes sense. Have you whispered in Receffo's ear since Derek Lewis got re-signed, bring in anybody else?
No, nobody cares. Let's be honest with each other. I got 2 fights to get to before any of that's even real, right? Why start talking about some shit that is a year away from right now when you got real challenges right in front of you, and the first one starts with Ran. First one's Ran. The second one, we don't know who it's gonna be yet. I used to get ahead of myself quite a bit when I was younger, and none of it came to fruition because I got ahead of myself. I'm in the moment, I'm focused on the task at hand, and I got a big test in Ran, so we're gonna stay right there with it. I got, what am I gonna say to Ray? Hey, I wanna fight Francis. He was like, yeah, okay. It doesn't look good. You gotta be smart. And if it's not real and it's not attainable, why let it come out of my mouth? However, I am a big advocate for whoever wins the tournament, right? I think it's gonna be myself, but realistically, whoever wins the tournament should get that fight. Derek Lewis re-signed with the UFC. Great. I'm happy he did. He can go get all his money there. He don't need to come here and steal money from us fighters who've been working our asses off to win this world title so we can have that fight and change our family's life even more. Derek got money. He got bread. He got money. That's how I feel about it.
Cool, thanks.
Jumping back to extracurriculars for a second. Talking about your Etsy store, your designing and everything you like to do. We can talk about that afterwards, but talking just about the designs right now, how do you find that keeps you kind of level, or how do you find that helps you going into a fight or a stage like this?
That's been constant, man. I've been doing this stuff for 16, 17 years, designing, been crocheting for like 15 years. I'm very creative. I recently started acting and been doing auditions, and I recently booked my first role on what I can't say, but I recently booked my first role. So that stuff takes me away from fighting and puts me in another creative space that's different from fighting, where I can just MMA's over here, my other creative space is over here, and that creative space is what's in my longevity for the rest of my life, right? So a lot of these guys, if you look at most of them, my opponent included, right? When he's done fighting, there's probably not going to be anything for him. Right? There's nothing exciting about him. He's done great. always trying to be, you know, the man, and I get that, I understand that. But most of these guys don't figure out a way to use the vehicle we have, right? The platform that we fought so hard to get, to put something in place for after this. This doesn't, you can't fight forever, right? I can't physically do it forever. But what you can do is start putting things in place. So when these opportunities are no more, when nobody gives a fuck about the crochet boss and they don't want to talk to me about MMA, when none of you guys want to do nothing like that with me. You guys want to be talking about me for other reasons, right? And if we don't start that, and if we don't look at the platform we have, you know, it's never gonna come. You're gonna do a lot of MMA fighters do. They figure they're done with MMA. They made a little bit of money. Maybe they bought a house. Which is amazing if you can buy something for your family. But you know, I want longevity. I want to move me into something else. You know, maybe be an analyst. Maybe definitely acting. That's where all my focus is right now. Acting and my brand. So it just gives me another place to be creative, and I really love being in that space. You know, I get to go to. I was a keynote speaker at a crafting convention. You know, I'm probably going to do that more. I was a keynote speaker at the athletic thing at my high school, which I was a terrible athlete in high school, so it's kind of funny that I'm a keynote speaker for anything athletic. But you know, I slowly found my way later on in life. So I tell all these young fighters and fighters that are, start building your platform, start figuring out what we want to do. If you're getting older, start figuring out what you want to do after, and put some of that stuff in place. You know, it's not going to put itself in place for you. I'll put it that way.
Thank you so much. Best of luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Final question, yeah.
Maurice over here. Your energy feels very grounded. You know, you feel relaxed. You know, we felt a lot of different fighters' energy, and it could be up, it could be down. And you know, you were talking about going to the face-offs and getting clammy. So, do you feel like you're naturally grounded for this fight, or do you feel like it's been an up and down like process since you've been in New York City?
It's the same. It's the same as it was against Ante. This guy said his name right. Very nice guy. Same with Ante. It's the same thing, man. Business as usual. We know what we're going into. We understand what's going to happen. We're going to put on little 4-ounce gloves. I'm going to put my cup and mouthpiece in. And I'm going to get punched in the face a little bit. He's going to get punched in the face a little bit. And I'm going to get my hand raised. You know, well, you guys don't know that. But I do. In my head, you know. Yeah, if I didn't think that, I shouldn't fucking be standing in front of you right now. But like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Am I scared? No. Am I nervous? Absolutely. The nerves keep me on my toes. The nerves keep me sharp. You got to embrace those nerves you have and turn them into something else. I just turn them into positive energy. Yeah, I'm grounded. I got my family. They love me unconditionally. You know, I talk to my kids every day. Like, yeah, I'm grounded. But I also know that come Friday night, I want it to be very violent. You know, and from a very, very calm place, it's going to be very violent.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.